It is 1 o'clock on the dot. We are live on Facebook. Hello to everyone in the Zoom. It is a Money Monday. It's me, Yaracel, the multipreneur, and we're back. I want you comfortable talking about money. I don't want you to ever be in a position to where money is not the normal topic at your dinner table. And we want to start off with our children. Today, we're going to talk about some kid accounts. We're going to talk about some great scripture that maybe you did not even know existed as it pertains to children. Y'all know we start off with scripture before we kind of get into the game. And so I'm really excited about that. All right, so here we go. Thank you to everybody who's gotten their journal thus far, and you are being disciplined with your journal. And if you are on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you press that bell. That way you will not miss any of the Money Monday episodes. All right, let's get this party started. All right, here we go. So the first scripture that I want to share with you guys is Genesis. I'm going to take y'all from the old to the new today. Genesis 24, 35 and 36. The Lord has blessed my master abundantly, and he has become wealthy. He has given him sheep and cattle, silver and gold, male and female servants, and camels and donkeys. My master's wife, Sarah, has borne him a son in her old age, and he has given him everything he owns. Y'all, back in the beginning, this is Abraham's son, y'all know, that they're talking about. Legacy is something that was here from the beginning. So don't ever get it twisted. I hear some people say, I'm not leaving my kids nothing. That's really not godly. It's really not godly. The next scripture I want to talk to you guys about or read to you, Proverbs 13 and 22. A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children, but a sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous. That's self-explanatory. We should not be leaving our kids in bad situations after we leave this earth. And the last scripture, I have 3 today for y'all. 2 Corinthians 12:14. Now I am ready to visit you for the 3rd time, and I will not be a burden to you, because what I want is not your possessions, but you. After all, children should not have to save up for their parents, but parents for their children. Let me tell you something. So I'm going to stop this share. Let me tell you something. You should be making sure that you are preparing for your children's future. Okay? And I know sometimes we make jokes like we say, oh, we tell our kids, you know, when you get older, you're going to be taking care of me. Actually, no, it is us who should be taking care of them. Now, what this does mean, though, is it means that we need to teach our children how to manage money in an effective way. And that way, they don't just mess up the things that we have left for them. We want to teach them to be financially savvy. We want to teach them to be empowered when it comes to money. We want to teach them to be wise stewards. We want to teach them all of those things. We want to teach them to be faithful stewards. And for some of you, you're probably like, yes, this is true, but we need to start with ourselves. So I definitely want to charge you with making sure that you go back and catch up with the other videos, especially if you've missed the video on budget. Let's say you've missed the video on savings and giving and all of the things that are really, really important for you yourself. Because truth be told, guess what? A lot of us, we're just now really learning how to manage money properly. And that's okay. So we're going to get it together, all of us. Remember, I told you that this is a journey that I'm also taking with you. So everything that I am saying to you, I am saying to myself. Now, here's the thing. I want to talk to you about kid accounts simply because college student loan debt is the #1 debt. Student loan debt has passed credit card debt. I mean, we're talking 1.3 trillion in student loan debt. That's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. At one point in time, it was the credit cards, but now it's the student loan debt. And so here are some things, if you prepare, the Bible teaches us to prepare. The Bible teaches us to, count up the costs in any situation, not just for our own. We can take that principle and apply it to so many things. Business, you count up the cost before you go do something. Making a big purchase, you count up the cost, you prepare. So when it comes to our children and their future, we prepare the same way that we would do for anything else that we have going on. So today I want to talk to you about 4 different types of kid accounts. And I want you to know that this is not like a comprehensive study. I mean, it's just Money Monday, but I will make sure that I post my schedule once link. That way you can set up an appointment if you want to talk in depth more about maybe an option for you. Always, always, always do your own homework, but just know that there are professionals who can help you work through all these types of things, okay? So get your pencil. Did I tell y'all to get your pad and your paper? Because you're going to need it today. So the first thing I want to do is I want to talk to you guys about educational types of accounts. And the reason that I want to talk to you about educational types of accounts is because even though there are a lot of children who are not trying to go to college, there are still a lot of children who are trying to go to college and a lot of parents who are trying to pay their children's way through college. And I'm gonna tell you something else too. I had a conversation with a friend of mine and he was like, I tell you what, I'm not paying for my daughters to go to school. They're gonna do what I did. They're gonna get Pell Grant and student loans just like I did. And I said, now hold up. You do have to understand and remember that number one, you make way more money than your parent did. So your daughter, she's not going to get any financial aid. And he was like, oh, and for a lot of you, you make a little bit too much money. Your kid is not going to see the Pell Grant and your kid is not going to see the types of loans that you may think that they can even take out. And what will probably happen for them is they're going to have to, if you do pay for school through student loans, the only loans that they'll be eligible to take are parent plus loans, which means those are in your name. Now, that's a fact. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk to you about is the Coverdell. The Coverdell ESA. ESA stands for Education Savings Account. Now, the thing about the Coverdell ESA, so the first 2 accounts that I'm going to talk to you about, this is if your kid is college bound. Okay, college bound. So the Coverdell ESA, this Coverdell Education Savings Account, it is a tax advantage way for you to save for educational expenses, qualified educational expenses. The cool thing about the Coverdell ESA is that it can be used for elementary, secondary, higher ed. So like say you want to have your kid in this top-notch private high school, whatever the case is. The one thing about it though, is that you can only contribute $2,000 per year for the beneficiary. So that doesn't really do a whole lot these days when it comes to paying for school. That's not a lot, but anybody can contribute into the Coverdell ESA. Now I want to let you know, these things are not like mutually exclusive. You can have more than one type of thing or whatever for the kid. But so anyway, but there are income limits. So if you're single, then you can't make over $100,000. And if you are married, and this is how you file your tax returns, you're married, you can't make over $220,000. However, if you decide I still want to have this type of account for my kid, you can probably find somebody who meets the income guidelines and you can work that out because the contributions can come. They don't have to come from you. The other thing about this type of account is that the the way the money is invested is really flexible with this type of account. And when I say really flexible is that there are a variety of ways that the money can be invested in with the Coverdell. And also the other thing about the Coverdell is you have to contribute into the Coverdell before the age of 18. However, you have up until age 30 to use the money. And it can be transferred too as well. That's the Coverdell. you want to talk more in depth about the Coverdell, then definitely reach out. The other thing, the next educational tax advantage way to save for educational expenses is the 529. The 529 is a state program. So there are, restrictions in the ways that you can invest the money in the 529. There is no time, and there's no age restrictions, and there are no caps on the limits the way it is with the Coverdell. However, again, this money is used for qualified educational expenses. Okay. So there's two types. There's the prepaid tuition, and then there's like a savings account for the 529. The investments are set by the state. So that flexibility that you have with the Coverdell is not there. But again, you don't have that income cap like you do for the Coverdell. So, when you know that the 520, educational college, that's the way we're going, higher education, boom, this is a good option for you. Okay. The next educational or kiddie account that I want to talk to you about is the Roth IRA. So here's the thing about the Roth. The cool thing about the Roth IRA is that any adult can open up the Roth IRA for the child. So that's awesome, especially for those of you who are like super aunties and super uncles, and you're really the one that's like really helping to take care of these kids. This is great for you. However, the child must have earned income. That means they can be a babysitter, they could be a dog walker, they could be whatever it is that they do, but they have to have earned income. It's as simple as that. And the contribution can't exceed the child's earned income, but you can go up to $6,000. See? And so, so that's the good thing about it. Also the good thing about the Roth IRA for the kids is that it grows tax-free and you pull it tax-free, but it is still a retirement account, y'all. And that means that this money stays in till they're 59 and a half. However, it can be used for educational expenses as well. And the good thing about educational expenses is there is no penalty when you use it for education expenses, but because you are taking the money out before 59 and a half, it is taxed. Oh my goodness. You do pay tax when you pull it out for educational expenses. Now, the other thing that you can use it for where there is no penalty and there is no tax is if they are buying their first time home. And the IRS feels like first time home is within the last 2 years. Okay. So yeah, the Roth is a great option. It's like an ultimate piggy bank, be honest. You can set these kids up to be in a much better situation. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about is the custodial account. I'm talking about a brokerage account, the UGMA. The way that UGMA, it stands for Uniform Gifts Minors Act. The way that I am no tax accountant, by the way, but the way that things are set up now, they're basically the same thing now. There are age requirement, or not age requirements, but the age in which the child gets this account varies by state. Most of the states are it's like 18 years old. The reason that you want to make sure your kid is financially savvy, they are financially educated, you've taught them the basics of being a good and faithful steward over their money, is because when they turn 18, it's theirs. They get it. This is such a good option. It's like one of the easiest ways to get your kid beginning to invest. And there are no contribution limits, but it is a taxable investment account. The cool thing, though, is that it's like having a trust without having to get the attorney and all the fees and stuff like that it takes to set up a trust. It's cool like that. It's comprehensive in the trading option, so it's really flexible for that. And it also can be used for any purpose as well. So those are the brokerage accounts, the custodial brokerage accounts. And basically, anybody who is a minor, and then you are the custodian over that. But when they get 18, or in some states when they get 21, boom, the account goes to them. So that's just a really quick little overview of the 4 different accounts that I wanted to talk to you guys about today: the Roth, the Roth IRA, the custodial brokerage account, and the Coverdell, and the 529, which are educational savings accounts for your children. All right. So listen, you can start early enough to really put your kids in a position to where they can be in a much better situation than maybe you were. And maybe you are already doing something like this for your children, and that is kudos to you. But just start, begin, and plan for your children's future. Now, if you have not gotten your journal for your own personal accountability and financial discipline, you can get that at IamTheMultipreneur.com. You guys, we have a lot of great things going on and coming up. I can't wait to share some more things with you, but we're done for today. Catch me next week at 1 p.m. I can't talk today, y'all. What is really going on? Catch me next Monday at 1 p.m. for another Money Monday. And if there's a topic or something you want me to talk about, just let me know. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. I'm Yarcel the Multipreneur, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.